Few nations have a history as vast, dramatic, and influential as Russia, a land of emperors and revolutions, of cultural brilliance and devastating wars. From the rise of the Tsars to the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia's past is a story of power, resilience, and transformation. But how did Russia become the country we know today? To understand, we must go back to the very beginning. Our story begins in the 9th century, with the rise of the Kievan Rus, a powerful Slavic state founded by Viking traders and warriors known as the Varangians. Led by Prince Rurik, they established their capital in Novgorod before expanding to Kiev. This early Russian state flourished as a center of trade and culture, but its golden age would not last forever. In the 13th century, the Mongols invaded, crushing the Kievan Rus and ruling over Russian lands for nearly 250 years. Known as the Tatar Yoke, this period forced Russia into isolation while the rest of Europe advanced. But in the 15th century, a new power would rise, the Grand Duchy of Moscow. By the late 1400s, Moscow had grown strong under the leadership of Ivan III, who broke free from Mongol rule and proclaimed himself Tsar of all Rus. But it was his grandson, Ivan IV, better known as Ivan the Terrible, who truly shaped Russia's destiny. A brilliant yet ruthless ruler, he expanded Russia's borders, but ruled with an iron fist, using secret police to crush his enemies. Over the next centuries, Russia would continue to expand, stretching from the Baltic to the Pacific. Under Peter the Great and Catherine the Great, Russia became a European powerhouse, modernizing its military, culture, and society. But beneath the surface, unrest was brewing. By the early 20th century, the Russian Empire was crumbling. Years of war, poverty, and inequality had left the people desperate. In 1917, the Russian Revolution erupted. Tsar Nicholas II abdicated, ending centuries of imperial rule. But what followed would change history forever. Led by Vladimir Lenin, the Bolsheviks seized power, creating the Soviet Union, a radical communist state that aimed to reshape society. But revolution came at a cost: civil war, famine, and political purges. And after Lenin's death, an even more ruthless leader would take control: Joseph Stalin. Under Stalin, the Soviet Union became a global superpower, but at a terrible price. Millions perished in purges, labor camps, and forced collectivization. Then came World War II, one of Russia's darkest yet most heroic moments. The Soviet people endured unimaginable suffering but ultimately defeated Nazi Germany, turning the tide of history. After the war, the USSR and the United States became locked in the Cold War, a battle for global influence fought through proxy wars, espionage, and a race to the stars. The Soviet Union seemed unstoppable, but in 1991, after decades of economic decline and political unrest, it all collapsed. With the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia faced an uncertain future. The 1990s brought economic chaos, but in the 21st century, Russia reasserted itself on the world stage. Today, it remains a major global power, its history a testament to survival, adaptation, and ambition. From the Tsars to the Soviets to modern Russia, this nation has shaped and been shaped by history. But one question remains: where will Russia's story go next? If you found this journey through Russia's history fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the past. What part of Russian history interests you the most? Let us know in the comments below.